And we can't have madmen out there shooting rockets all over the place. Now he's talking about a massive weapon exploding over the ocean, which causes tremendous calamity. States has great strength and patience. But if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
The Butter Battle by Dr. Seuss.
On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head,
You know, on the side of the wall are the Ukes, on the far other side of this wall are the Zooks.
Then my grandfather said,
It's high time that you knew of the terribly horrible things that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down. But we Ukes, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread,
Grandpa said,
with the butter side up. That's the right side, honest way.
Grandpa gritted his
So
teeth.
you can't trust a Zook who spreads his bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook watching Border Patrol. Those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I could give him a twitch with my tough, tufted, prickly snickberry switch. For a while it worked fine, all the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my snickberry switch. With the broken-off switch, with my head hung in shame, to the Chief Yaro in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled, he said, You're not to blame. Those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you right up in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot. And he ordered his boys in the back room to figure how to build me some sort of a triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. I marched to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Van Itch with my hand on the trigger. I'll have no more nonsense, I said, with the frown from you Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down. Van Itch looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day with the spiffy new suit and a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, You may fling those hard rocks with your triple slim jigger, but I also now have my hand on the trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger rock snatch 'em, will fling 'em right back just as quick as we catch 'em. We'll have no more nonsense, we'll have no more guff from you Ukes who eat bread with the butter side up. I have failed, sir, I sobbed, as I made my report to the Chief Yaro in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, my dear, are not modern enough. All we need is some newfangled kind of gun. My boys in the back room have already begun. to think up a walloping whizzing hour. My bride boys are thinking they're on the right track. They'll think one up quick and we'll send you right back. They thought up a great one, they certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with powerful poo-a-doo powder and ant eggs and bees' legs and dried fry clam chowder. And they carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched back to the wall with our heads held up high, while everyone cheered and the chairs filled the sky. Fight, fight for the butter side up, do or die! Well, we didn't do, and we didn't quite die, but we sure did get worse at poor Daniel and I. Manich was there too, and he said, the old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig called the 8-nozzle elephant-toted boom blitz. It shoots high-explosive sour cherry stone pit, and will put your dumb Kickapoo kid on the fritz. Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. Once more by Manish, I was bested and beat. Once again I limped home from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged, and my spirits were low as I thought that they ever could go. Then I heard a boom-ba and a diddly-dee-dill, and our butter-up band marched over the hill. The Chief Yaro had sent them to me, along with the right-side-up song girls to greet me.
And they sang, oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter.
And they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. My boy, smiled the Chief Yaro, we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform's ready. Get in it. The big war is coming. You're going to begin it. What's more, this time you're certain to win it. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see what they've puttered up now. In their great new machine, you'll fly over that wall and clobber those buttered-down Zooks one and all. Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made me a thing called the utterly sputter. And I jumped aboard with my heart all aflutter and stared toward the land of the upside-down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new, no one knew quite exactly what it would do, but it had several faucets that sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the Zooks as I flew, and gum up that upside-down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle us Zooks, you get sprinkled as well!" And it had to sputter, exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue goo is working just fine, and I'm here to say that if Zooks can do Zooks, you'd better forget it, 'cause Zooks can do Zooks!" I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright dispotent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw just as soon as I stepped back on land, so were all of the girls of the butter-up band. The chief lumberjorette, Ms. Yuki Ann Sue, said,
That was a pretty sour flight that you flew, and the Chief Yaro has been looking for you.
I raced to his office. The place was a sight. Have no fears, said the chief. Everything is all right. My bright backroom boys have been brighter than bright. They thought of a gadget that's newer than new. It is filled with mysterious moolaka-moo and can blow all those Zooks clear to Zalamagoo. They've invented the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man, drop this bomb on the Zooks just as fast as you can. I have ordered all Ukes to stay safe underground while the Bitsy Big Boy Boomeroo is around. As I raced for that wall with the bomb in my hand, I noticed that every last Uke in our land was obeying our Chief Yukaro's grim command. They were all bravely marching with banners aflutter down the hole for the country and right side up a butter.
That's when Grandfather found me. He grabbed me, he said.
You should be down that hole, but you're up here instead. But perhaps this is all for the better somehow. You will see we make history right here and right now.
Grandpa leapt up that wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his hoarse throat with a bopulous beat. He screamed,
Here's the end of the terrible town full of Zooks who eat bread with the butter side down.
And at that very instant, we heard a clup-clup of feet on the wall, and old Vanich clumped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo.
I'll blow you!
He yelled.
Into pork and wheat beans, I'll butter side up you two small smithereens!
Grandpa, I shouted, be careful! Oh, gee, who's going to drop it? Will you or will he?
Be patient,
Said Grandpa.
we'll see. We will see.
And when you say that, what do you mean?
You'll see.
Is that a
He will see. You'll see. You'll see. And he'll see. It's not a dare. It's a statement. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. It will be an event the likes of which nobody's seen before, what will happen in North Korea.